Hi, my name's Andy Sway. I'm a healer, I'm a hypnotist, and the founder of Transformatology. What I do is I help people transform into more of their authentic selves by really going after all the inauthentic elements that they have. Um, what's an inauthentic element? It's like insecurity, certain fears. It's all kinds of ways that we don't really get who we are and we don't understand our power. So, who are we? What's our power? We are spirits. We are immortal souls inhabiting these physical bodies. And we each have a reason for being here. Not all of the reasons are to completely change the world or anything like that. The reason could be very simple, but generally there's some element of unique personal self-expression that usually people find to be a little blocked by insecurity, self-doubt, and what it comes down to is an inability to be in that vulnerable space where we got hurt as a child. We were born pretty vulnerable. We were born with our spirits right there in the forefront. And we were very sensitive. And part of the deal, it seems, with being on Earth is getting that spirit crushed in the first few years of life. And after that, most people are kind of walking around with a lot of wounds, which they try to protect. And by protecting those wounds, they end up holding on to those wounds. And those wounds end up being a distortion. If we imagine a hose, if we imagine a hose where water should be flowing through effortlessly, sometimes the hose gets a kink in it. Sometimes it could get some buildup on the inside, right? And all of those things are changing the flow of the water in the hose. Now, the same thing with us. There are all these things we don't want to feel. There are all of these aspects of ourselves that we have criticized, and rather than love ourselves, we've been self-critical and self-hating. So my job, whether I'm doing hypnosis or energy healing or just consulting, is to go after those blockages and to help the person clear them. A lot of times that means going through and feeling things that we've spent our whole lives resisting feeling. And that can be tough. But in the end, you realize that the blockage wasn't really ever a thing, okay? The blockage was never you. The self-doubt was just something that you were doing. The fear, the self-hatred, whatever you want to call it, the rejection. Once we are able to fully feel whatever there is to be felt within our systems, once we unleash that flow, everything changes. Sometimes it gets a little chaotic at first, and that's where I help guide people through the process. But in the end, people have fuller lives, and they express more of their true potential. And the process is endless because that's what our true beings are. They are infinite. They are endless. You're never done. You never just check off something on a list and say that's it. I've arrived. This is a creative process, this life, and the challenge of taking our individuality, our uniqueness, and expressing it in a human life is an ongoing thing that hopefully will keep on going until our last breath here on Earth.